Ohne ihn fangen wir nicht an. Wir begrüßen für die Erklärung der Kommission Herrn Kommissar Schmidt.
Liebe Frau Präsidentin, honorable members, almost 68% of Europeans think that corruption is widespread in their country. Corruption undermines the trust in democratic institutions and is damaging our societies. Corruption costs the EU at least €120 billion each year. Corruption is a threat to security. It is an increasingly cross-border crime. In the past 6 years, Eurojust has registered more than 500 cross-border cases. Corruption and organized crime go hand in hand. Almost 60% of organized crime activity uses corruption as a regular tactic. Daphne Caruana Galizia was trying to unveil corruption when she was murdered, like Slovak journalist Jan Kuciak, brutally killed with his fiancée Martina Kuznirova. Corruption can infect any level of society. If left to run rampant, corruption will suffocate our democratic society, destroy its institutions, as well as the lives of many citizens. Last September, at her State of the Union speech, President von der Leyen promised that the Commission would step up the fight against corruption at home and abroad. Last week, the Commission and High Representative delivered an anti-corruption package for healthy democracies and institutions that citizens can trust. We are proposing a comprehensive set of measures to fight corruption where it hurts the corrupt the most. This includes an update of our existing legislative framework to combat corruption. Definitions and penalties related to corruption differ too much among EU countries. This makes cross-border investigations more difficult and creates loopholes. We propose that all kinds of corruption are criminalized, not only bribery offenses. We propose to raise standards on illicit enrichment, trafficking in influence, abuse of power, and obstruction of justice. We target both public and private sectors and will raise penalties across the EU. The proposal aims to provide law enforcement, prosecution, and the judiciary with the tools they need to combat corruption. This includes a sufficiently long statute of limitations to bring proceedings to an end. It also will ensure that immunity or privileges from prosecution can be lifted by an effective and transparent process in a reasonably short period. But better than fighting corruption, we need to prevent it. Prevention helps to create a culture of integrity in which corruption and impunity are not tolerated. Prevention has wider benefits in promoting public trust and managing the conduct of public officials. 70% of our last year's rule of law recommendations on corruption concerned prevention. We want to see in each EU country specialized anti-corruption bodies that are trusted, well-funded, and independent. In this line, we will soon table a proposal for an interinstitutional ethics body to serve as an example for our member states. We cannot stop the fight against corruption at our borders. Corruption can also undermine the principle and objectives that the EU promotes through its common foreign and security policy. Democracy, rule of law, human rights, peace, international security, and sustainable development. This is why, in parallel to the Commission's initiatives strengthening the fight against corruption within the EU, High Representative Borrell, with the support of the Commission, has submitted to the Council a proposal to establish a new CFSP sanctions regime targeting serious acts of corruption worldwide. It is, of course, for the member states in the Council to decide whether to adopt such a sanctions regime. We are sending a clear message: the EU is not open for business to those who engage in corruption wherever that occurs. Thank you.
Herzlichen Dank, Herr Kommissar Schmidt.